So he's really bearing the cost of the financing. But let's just throw your deal right in here right now. Let's do it. So what do we have? I'm just going to make a duplicate. Okay, now we have what is it that you said? Did you say the value of
the whole deal is $1 million, but the property itself is $700,000. He's going to let me put 10% down.
Okay, I'm going to go just $1 million, and I understand that means that if you're only putting 100,000 down, you've only bought part of the business and basically none of the 0% down on the note. You know, if he was all right, let me quit jabbering. So 10% down.
I'm putting 10% down in the business too, but the business kicks off with $300,000 a year in revenue.
Okay, this is fantastic. So what kind of business is this?
It's a plumbing business.
Oh, fantastic. You know what? No matter what the economy does, we need plumbers, right? You gotta have them. HVAC business. That was the one I was just telling you. They're going for so much money right now.
I know. And the best part is he's keeping his license in there and his 10% in there. So, I get a hook on him, basically.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. Let's just put in a text box here and start. What are you? Let's say, so it's $1 million business, right? We got $1 million and you're putting down 100,000.
Yes.
Oops. And what's the interest rate?
It's to be determined, but it's probably going to be around 6%.
6?
Yeah.
And what's the term?
I'm looking for a 30-year payout, interest only, for 5 years.
Okay. Is it full? It's amortized over 30, due in 5.
Yeah. Actually, you can make it 20. Make it 20.
Okay, so it's amortized over 20, due in 5, and that would make the monthly payment. So let's just do this. So we know right from the beginning that 10% down on a commercial building and a business is way, way low. You're going to have to usually put down 35% on both commercial building and a business, right? So you're putting way low, okay? So that's already great for you as the buyer. Not great for him as the seller, if he wants to sell the note down the road, or if something goes bad and you go belly up, not good for him either. But here's a good shot.
But again, the note is really only $700,000 on the property, so it's really not $1 million total,
Okay, but are you applying the 100,000 to the property? Are you going to do 2 separate notes, or is this going to be a blend?
2 separate notes. $70,000. So $70,000 to the property, and probably about $38,000 to the business.
Okay, so the business note, he won't be able to sell that for a darn thing. Okay, so let's just talk about the real estate business.
Right.
Okay, let's just do that. And because most business notes, they have to be fully, to be marketable,
they're worthless.
Right. They have to be, they're usually fully amortized over 3, 5, most 7 years. Okay.
Correct.
Right. You know that. All right. So then let's put this deal in here. You've got 10% down and it's a commercial building. We'll forget that you bought the business. Okay. So let's just see what you have here. That leaves you 630 note. Oops. 6% is great, right?
Yeah. Hopefully that's what we'll agree upon.
Okay. So that means your payment, gosh darn it. $45,1352, and then okay, so and how much per month does it bring in? I mean, just what's the lease to the building from the business?
He doesn't do that yet, which is something else that he's going to rent from me when I buy it from him. So I would say the lease is probably about $5,000 a month.
Okay, so this is barely going to cover itself. So it doesn't even really cover. If you did this, did I put these numbers in correctly? I mean, that's
right.
Okay.
It's interest only too.
Oh, it's interest.
So,
well, you said you said 240. Okay, in that case, it's just 5 years.
Interest only for 5 years, and then a balloon payment.
Right. So that's all that we have there. 5 years, or basically 60 months, right? Because when you say,
just to let you know, the free cash flow in the business is $165,000. So there's more than enough to cover this note.
Okay, that's the business part. But if you were talking about, is he going to be able to sell, the note? If it's separate like this, it'll be
correct.
Yes, he can sell a partial. He would be able to sell a partial. So we'll look at that, and then I promise we're going to get to Jeff, the Porter family.
And the reason why I was asking that about in the future, because 5 years from now, I'm hoping he could have a note, then I could bring it to you, and then I could do the partial with him and the partial with you.
Well, you never know. I like being brought in on deals. That's my funnest part. So 6% basically. Okay. Yeah, that makes the monthly payment a lot nicer for you. So 3150 is better, right? Great deal for you if you get it. And then, but the business, okay, you're putting 10% down. And if you're amortizing that also, or if that's interest only, there's no selling that note at all. And actually, in that case, if I were him, and if you're looking at the future value of this paper, I would take the whole 100,000 and put it against the building. Because that's the most solid way to get future value, right? To maintain the future value is for you to be deeper in here.
Okay.
Because that business note's worth nothing without you paying it and your word anyway. But this note could have more value. This could be more valuable.
I understand what you're saying, but except he's underutilizing the business because it's a 2,000 square foot building. Would easily rent 2 stores in there for $1,000 each and still give me a storeroom and an office. So there's plenty of room in the back. Plus, he rents parking spots. There's a lot of stuff involved here, but this is just the overview I'm giving.
Right. That's fine. All I'm saying is if you're trying to say, I want some sort of the least painful exit strategy down the road 5 years from now, I would put all your down payment toward the separate building. That's what I would do. If there's a future down the road play to be had here, the better you did here, the better for him and you. Well, not you. It doesn't matter to you. You're going to do fine. But on paper, this will look better for, a little better than 10% down. What is this? 15% almost down. It'll look better for you, but with interest only, it's not as great. But anyhow, hopefully that's helped a little bit, and I appreciate you coming on.